Hi everyone, my name is Amie Charney and I'm the first recipient of Harlequin's Creator Fund for television writing. And I'm developing an original series called Cape Disappointment, which I'm so excited about. The first time I really believed I was a writer was my sophomore year in high school. I'd always written stuff. My mom has a drawer full of little stories that I would write. But when I really first believed that I was a writer was Mr. Bell, my sophomore English teacher, who submitted a story that I wrote for the Reflections contest, and I won. In fact, I still have the plaque today. It's right behind me. I keep it right there because on my worst writing days, it helps me to remember that someone believed in me, and that helps me to keep going. Where do I get my best ideas? My kids hate this part about me. They don't like going to cafes with me because I'm a terrible eavesdropper. I like to sit and drink my coffee and listen to what people are saying around me. And I always pick up these fantastic little tidbits that may or may not find their way into my scripts. I also love to travel and my family and just interesting people in my life. I'm one of those people that ask questions to total strangers. I'm sitting on a plane and if you're sitting next to me, I might ask for your life story. So life around me is really what inspires me. It makes me excited. I just love people and I'm fascinated by what they do and who they are. And I always love to use real people and real life things in my stories. What word do I overuse? What words do I overuse? I keep a list right by my computer when I'm editing a script or a novel. These are words that I use and use over and over and over again. So Control F is my best friend when I'm editing. I put those words in and are able to take them right out. But the word that always seems to come up for me is started. My characters are always starting to do things. So instead of she started to drink coffee, how about she drank coffee? And take them out. The word that always seems to come up the most though is started. My characters are always starting to do things. So instead of starting to drink coffee, she starts drinking coffee. No, that's wrong. Cut that one too. So good.
It was good, and then she starts. I was like, yeah, she starts it.
Cut that one too.
That was good.
One more time.
Let me readjust. I'm
Blah,
uncomfortable.
blah, blah. Okay. What quality must a hero have? Oh, I love hot nerds. I always write nerdy characters because we're all nerds inside. If you are watching this, you are a nerd and embrace that inner nerdum. So for me, a hero has to have a little bit of that inside. He's got to have a brain. He's got to have a sense of humor. He's got to actually listen to his heroine. I mean, those things are the sexiest for me. As a hero that knows himself, is confident, but knows himself enough to really appreciate all of the qualities in the woman that he loves. The quality I think a good heroine has is she has to know herself. She has to be confident. I like heroines that are a little kick butt, that even though the world is falling down around them maybe, or everything is uncertain, they have this seed of strength within them that as you get to know them, it just keeps blossoming. And I think part of that is, okay, so one of the worst lines in a movie that I've ever seen is, "You complete me." I think that's terrible. When you have a hero and heroine on the screen or on the page, they have to enhance each other. So having them both know who they are, at least within them, it is a wonderful way of seeing them just click on the page. So when they come together and they're in the middle of conflict or they are just getting to know each other, having that little seed of confidence is what gives us a heroine that is strong and has room to grow in the story. Romantic gestures. Okay, when I was young, I thought romantic gestures were all about the big flower bouquets and theater tickets and whisking me off to a magical night. And don't get me wrong, I mean, how great are those? Of course, I still love those, and they make for great screen. But I think in real life, and even in the heroes and heroines that I write now, the most romantic gesture is my husband. he's not the flower kind of guy, but he holds my hand all the time, and he tells me how much he loves me, and most importantly, how much he supports me, how much he champions my dreams. And that, for me, is really the most romantic gesture. Having a hero tell a heroine that he supports her and is a cheerleader for what she wants. Oh, chills. I wish my creative process was less fits and starts and more just, easy sailing. I have phenomenal friends that can just sit down and write, and they are machines. They take out their butt glue, they glue their butts to the chair, and they just stick there. Right now, that's not my season in life. I'm still busy with kids, and I'm a teacher, and trying to write is kind of catch as catch can. So learning how to be efficient in the time that I actually had to sit down and write, I wish I was a little bit more of that. When was I last creative? When was I last creative? Okay, hold on.
Huh. I love that. Huh. When was I last creative? Huh. It's fantastic. It's great.
When was I last creative? I don't think you have to be writing to be creative. I think creativity is all around us. And when you're baking, you could be creative, or quilting, or painting, or telling a story to your kids at night. I think there's lots of ways to be creative in our life. So even if you're feeling like you can't carve out that chunk of time to write, there are a lot of ways to just keep the ball rolling and keep thinking and keep showing your expression and the artistic side of who you are in other ways. And I hope that I'm doing that even when I'm teaching. I feel like I can be creative.
Yeah.
What inspires my writing? Well, there are a number of things that inspire my writing, but one of the things that I really love are crazy occupations. I'm fascinated by people that do cool things, and I get to live vicariously that life as a writer. I mean, I would never want to be a doctor. I couldn't do the blood and guts. God love you if you are. But I can play one for a little while, either in my script or in a book. So I love professions: ballet dancers, glass blowers, artists, journalists, wildlife photographers. There's so many different things that I love. I think what also inspires me is living life. I try to be a tourist in my own hometown. I try to find the coolest things that I can around here. New restaurants, new places to go. I love going to the zoo still. I try to be kind of like a kid in my own backyard. And whether I'm in my hometown or whether I'm traveling, which I do love to travel, and just get experiences from life itself. I think people inspire me as well. I have phenomenal students and family, and just meeting even total strangers are all fodder for my writing. So get out there and meet people and do things, and all of those things can inspire you too.
That's a wrap. That's good.
Good. Is it good?
Yeah, that
Do I need to redo that one?
That was
No, I
cool.
don't
that we
think so.
did that.